May the 5th, 2025. Guys, happy Cinco de Mayo for all of our Spanish friends. What you're looking at is solar wind, and it hasn't let up in quite a few days. It's in the purple line here, and we're up in the 600s, 700s most of the day. Notice that 300 and 400 have been taking off the scale. It starts at 500 now. I guess it'll stay that way as long as it's elevated, but we're now at 746, guys. And you're looking at 1.5 million or so miles per hour. Very strong, very rough on you if these things affect you that much. Our shields are trying to stay shut, but it's kind of just like little pulses as they go past the black line here, right into that V. That's when they're open more. If they're both on the same side of that line, you've got closed shields. But right now they're open. The density is not that bad at all, but the speed and the temperature are. Now here's a breakdown. 763.7 kilometers per second, very fast. Protons are very thin, less than one. Look at that, 0.38. It says the solar wind is blowing again. Over the weekend, the solar wind speeds topped 700 kms. They went higher than that, almost 900. 1.6 million miles per hour, sparking hours of minor G1 class geomagnetic storms. We're still in a G1, guys. It wasn't supposed to be. Remember, we looked at the 3-day forecast, but we are. It says it could happen again today after subsiding on May 4th. Solar wind speeds are picking up again on May 5th, exceeding 700 kms. High latitude sky watchers should remain alert for auroras. We're still watching that big sunset spot, guys, 4079. They're saying these big sunspots usually produce big solar flares, but this one's eerily quiet, and that's a good thing. You can see it right here in the very center of the solar disk. Again, it's just above the equator of the sun. The Earth's just below it. That's a good thing, but they are expecting some problems out of this flare. Best thing that can happen is keep on rotating to the right, get on the backside and let out that energy there. But there's some things, guys, that they took down a lot of the information and one of the monitors, but it was called the Earth-Sun's connection point. And you have these long plasma tubes that really, I think, go out to every planet from the sun. They're invisible. The one between the Earth and the sun, guys, pulses every 8.2 minutes. And in that period of time, a lot can go on, but it's transferring energy to the planet. And the transfer plasma tubes are as large as our planet. But it's called an Earth-Sun connectivity point, and I have seen it where, if you're looking at this disk on the left, guys, say the sunspots here, a lot of times the Earth's connection point would drift around in this area, depending on where the magnetics are floating. And when you have a connection point like that and a sunspot drifts into it, I've seen them go off. We just don't have that particular instrument anymore. They've hidden quite a bit, or taken it down or defunded it. But it does exist, and it's called an Earth-Sun connectivity point. And it's a transfer of energy, and it is, I think, it's like jumping a spark from the Earth to the sun. When that happens, when that energy transfers through, we get them. Maybe we'll be lucky, and that will not happen this time. Now, Earth's weather affects space weather. That's really why they watch it, because of the effects on our planet. And guys, we have this storm setting up in Texas right now, and you're getting some severe thunderstorm warnings, things like that. And for our friends in Louisiana, it's starting to move across the Sabine River. And for us here in central Mississippi, Arkansas, and actually all of Mississippi, this is coming our way. So don't forget it. You're going to have the southern sections of Missouri involved here. Oklahoma, of course, is involved. You have a low pressure spinning here and one right there. This thing's caught in between it. Now you've got some moisture pulling up. You've got some moisture coming in from the Pacific Ocean, but you got cooler air coming down through California, guys. I wouldn't complain about it at all, especially if some of the forecasts about this being a very hot summer are coming true. So again, watch this area right here. We're already starting to see some thunderstorm warnings and things like that. And this is what we got. Notice across this area, guys, of Texas all the way into central Mississippi, heavy rains are expected. So you've got flood watches out. Also, tornado warning. This is in, I think, Suffolk County in northern central Mexico, guys. It popped back down, back up now. Let's take a look at where it's at. It says this warning is in effect until 5 p.m. Eastern, south central Sussex County. It's at 4:47. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Jarrett, or 12 miles northeast of Emporia, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Hazard tornado and quarter-size hail. Radar indicated rotation. Impact could be flying debris, will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. And anytime you got that, you got power outages, right? Locations impacted include Yale, Gray, and Hilda. Take cover now. Now, this is CERN Live, guys. Look at the timestamp top right. You got 6,799 gig electron volts, so you're over the 13 that they have usually been getting, because it would be 65 there. Red and blue lines have been peaking with the black line in some places, not quite all everywhere, but in the last run right there, they were up very high. Notice they are getting very close to 7,000 right there. That means with double collisions, you've got 14,000. That's the strongest I've seen it. It says stable beams, planning to keep this field until 2 a.m. Now, that would be universal time. They got a pretty good balance on their beams. They're not exactly where they need to be for their collisions, but they are working on it. Again, here's your windage and your elevation. They want these to collide as they wrap around that 17-mile underground loop. Beam 1 here, beam 2 here. Guys, again, they're reaching peak power as far as what I've seen in the past and as far as they've let us know. But I think it's because the new coating keeping the cryogenics much cooler. I just looked at them, and they are all straight line green. And you notice here in beam 1 and beam 2 that this will tell you how much they're off from being right into the collision. You can also see them change in intensity and light. See that? Because you've got this section here, and then this one's a little higher. See it? They want everything right at 2, I think will be very good. And then you're going to start seeing the explosions, the scattering of the particles. That's how they found the guard particle. But guys, it does a lot of devastation to our magnetopods and our shields as they are doing this, especially during solar storms. Now, this is our current magnetopods. Again, from the top, looking down on the Earth on the left, and your image on the right, it would be if you were standing at the left of the sun looking back at it. And you can see there's a tremendous amount of energy. Everything's peaking out on the scale, even the plasma burn off in the back. But look at this, and you can see the waves come in. And again, we're dealing with 1.5, 1.6 million miles per hour that you're seeing it hit our shields. Check that out. Look at the plasma burn off in the back right there. Also, let's take a look at the density. Now, it's very light today. When you have extremely high solar wind, you don't have a solar flare involved, it thins that density down just like smoke from a fire in high wind. But you can see the effects of it coming in. Again, it's just the density's low. You can see the impact of how fast the particles are coming, even thin, as thin as they are. Now, check this out. This is the pressure. Again, top view looking down on the Earth. This is looking at it from the side. I always point out that the tilt right there, the Earth. Check that out. And that's the pressure building. And guys, it's been pretty rough. Wanted to do a video earlier, but we've got some bad weather coming in tonight. We were just looking at, and I needed to do some things outside before that happened because it's going to be rainy for the next 3 days here, they say. But anyway, this is what we got right now, guys. High solar wind. Your ears are probably ringing. I don't know how long this will last. It was not supposed to be past really the 2nd, but here we are on the 5th. I don't see any easing up on it, even though they're predicting tomorrow it will not be a G1. We'll just have to see, guys. Things are really getting strange. Now, there's other information coming out, too, that's very interesting to me about trillions of our dollars, our tax money, going to the elites building underground cities here in the U.S., getting ready or to prepare for any extinction level event. That video will be right behind this one, guys. Check it out. Let me know what you think. It's a heads up. Be safe.